I am thrilled to have what I believe is one of the most important conversations I'll have this year with Dr. Marc Brackett, who is the author of Permission to Feel, one of my million copies, and is someone whose work research is on a mission to build a world of compassionate emotion scientists, which I hope to be one. So welcome, Marc.
Thank you. I like where we're going already.
Okay, good. Well, let me start with I was first exposed to your work and to your book, Permission to Feel, through my daughter's elementary school. My daughters are in kindergarten and in fourth grade in Darien, Connecticut, and they've invested in the curriculum, the staff, the teachers, the parents, the students. And I was hooked. I dove into the book. I read the book. I started talking about it on my corporate workshops and to everyone. And I've always known that emotional regulation, emotional fluency was important in the workplace. But I never, until I read Ruler and your curriculum, found such accessible tools. So, when I think about, I have global corporate clients. They are everybody's emotions are sky high after the pandemic, but there's a lot of restructuring going on. There's a lot of sensitive emotions. And the education community has doubled down on permission to feel. I would love to hear your case for businesses, for leaders, for people managers. Let's build this together for investing in emotion regulation to be more proactive than reactive.
Sure. Well, firstly, I think it's important to share that, having done, 1.5 million presentations for companies in my career, back about 4 years ago, a colleague of mine named Matt, and a bunch of others decided to create a company to teach people in the business world emotional intelligence. And it was because there was so much interest. People want to all right, great presentation, Mark, but how do I go deeper?
Mm.
And there's so much in any kind of professional learning. There's always the workshop. And I think that's fine to get people excited about it, but how do you go much deeper? And the case for that is all based in research. And so I'll give you the best study that we've done thus far. So we have a study where we looked at the emotional skills of supervisors, managers, leaders, etc. And then we looked at reports from the people who work on their teams. And the question was, how do people feel when they work for someone who is low or high in emotional intelligence? How do they behave? What's their job satisfaction like? What's their burnout rate? What's their burnout rate like? What is their, during the pandemic, are they more likely to want to join that great resignation?
Right.
And here's what we found. Number one, people who work for people who are higher in emotional intelligence, so managers and leaders who have these skills,
Right.
there's about a 40% higher level of inspiration on a team.
Okay.
So inspiration is higher. Frustration is significantly lower. Here's the kicker. Ethical behavior is higher on a team where the leader is higher in emotional intelligence.
Fantastic.
We also found job satisfaction is higher, job burnout is lower, intentions to leave your profession are significantly lower. And interestingly enough, what we found is that during the pandemic, that when you work for a leader who's higher in emotional intelligence, and if you were kind of acutely affected by COVID, like you got it, or someone in your family got it, or maybe you had a loss in your family because of it,
Right.
that you felt significantly more supported and less likely to want to leave your job when you work for someone who is higher in emotional intelligence. So all the way around, guess what?
Yes.
These skills matter. And by
Yes.
the way, it was particularly focused on the regulation piece.
Okay.
And so just want to say last thing is that, well, not the last thing, but for right now,
Yeah.
is there's two kinds of regulation, right? There's the self-regulation, like
Mm.
Mark, when he's stressed out, he can deal with his feelings. And then there's my friend Joan, who works on my team. And when Joan's stressed out, does Mark, if I were the leader, know how to help you and support you in dealing with your feelings? So there's the intra and the interpersonal.
Okay, exactly. So that's the case. We know all these reasons that it keeps people happy, productive, their well-being, their relationships, their retention, the engagement.